They say that leaders are readers. And if that's true, then I am definitely not winning at life. And in an effort to rectify clearly my shortfall, I have invested in an ebook reader. And so today we're talking about the Kobo Libra H2O. Every year in Whistler, somewhere around Thanksgiving, the local library would have a book sale. And so on this particular weekend, approximately 6 years ago, I bought this book by Robin Hobb. It's quite an old book, and the print on this is quite fine, as you can see. There's approximately 570 plus pages. As of a week ago, I had not finished reading this despite numerous efforts to get through it. And I'd always had this theory as a tech gadget guy, if I could just get this on a Kindle, I would probably be more likely to read it. There is absolutely no scientific backing for me thinking a book to an ebook, suddenly I read more. And yet, it's worked. So over a week ago, I went out and bought the Libra H2O from Kobo, and it has transformed my reading. And not only have I finished this book, but I have read the second one in the series, which is of an equal size, within the last week. All because I bought this wonderful device here. And as you can see on the screen, I'm now up to the third book in the series. Well done me. Some of you are thinking, I'm pretty sure there's probably quite a lot of reviews about the Kobo H2O, and you're probably right. But you know, when I get new stuff, I have to talk to someone about it, so it's got to be you guys. So today, I really do want to sing its praises, but don't just stop there because you think I've said everything nice about it and that you should go out and buy it. Let's do a little bit of a look through on the specs, and let me tell you why I bought this and not, for example, the Kindle Paperwhite or the Kindle Oasis, which is really the closer model to this. The Kobo Libra H2O comes in two colors. It comes in white, as you can see on that, and then it comes in black, which you can see there. It's a 7-inch 300 ppi, which basically means there's a hell of a lot more dots on this thing, or a hell of a lot more resolution on this thing than some of the cheaper models that you can buy, making the text a lot clearer. Basically think of it as going from a standard TV to a slightly more HD TV. It is also H2O waterproof, being able to be submerged up to 2 meters for, I believe, up to about 2 hours. But unless you're going to drop this in the swimming pool and forget that it's there, it's highly unlikely that it's going to be submerged for that long. It has something called ComfortLight PRO, just slightly making the e-ink paper on this a little bit yellower, taking the edge of any blue light that might exist in the device. Obviously, it's very different to trying to read on a tablet or an iPhone, which I find horrible. On that note, why would you buy an ebook reader as opposed to not just reading on your tablet or your phone? If you read on your tablet and your phone, that's great. But the reason that I fail at that is every time I pick up my tablet or my phone, I've probably got 5 or 10 notifications that distract me. So by the time I remember why I picked up my phone, I've really run out of all my reading time. Also, I don't like the shine, obviously, on a tablet or a phone screen. The e-ink on these things, both the Kindle and the Kobos and any other ebook readers out there, are really quite fantastic in terms of reading them in daylight, not having that reflectiveness of any other shiny surfaces around. So it does make a huge difference when you're doing your reading. Now, I bought this because if you're reading for a long period of time, I really want something to hold on to. You know, with a book, you can fold the pages back and really hold on to the side of it, and so it's true with this as well. The frustration I would have, being someone that, you know, occasionally gets tendonitis from too much nerding out, just based on the work that I do, it's kind of quite hard to hold a little bevel, and so your fingers end up doing all the work, whereas with this side bevel here, it's really superbly comfortable to hold, and if you look at it, it's just slightly bent up, which is really quite intelligent in my opinion, because it is, again, a little bit more like having that flexibility that you would have with a book to hold it so that it's not flat. Now, it doesn't move, but it is quite natural in your hand. So I'm guessing that they've probably had lots of cardboard prototypes that people have sat there with over long periods of time trying it out. You can read it in portrait and landscape, and it also has a lock mode for that, which I have on because when I'm lying down reading with it sideways, if you get me, I don't want the text to go into landscape mode, so I keep it in portrait mode locked. It has LEDs built into the background of the screen, and I'll just power it up, and you can control the brightness just by scrolling kind of with your finger up and down on the side. And this provides plenty of illumination for nighttime reading or similar. Did a pretty bad job of demonstrating that, but I'm pretty sure you saw the LEDs come up and down. It's hard to do backwards, bear with me. So the adjustment of the brightness is one of the things that stood out to me compared to the Kindle, which requires a little bit more touching buttons or virtual buttons to kind of get into those brightness settings. The ability just to tap it and then drag your finger up on the left-hand side is really, really good. With the bevel on the right here as well, you've also got page turning buttons. So if you click those, it will either go forward or back. And whilst you can also tap the left and the right of the screen or swipe, it gives you options. So sometimes when I'm sitting there single-handed, say on the couch, I'm happy to click the buttons and it turns the pages. But perhaps late at night, when I'm lying down reading and I need to be a silent ninja, I can just slightly touch that screen and obviously the page will turn silently, which is really, really good. The screen configuration is quite straightforward. If you tap on this side, it will go back a page. If you tap on this third, it will go forward a page. And if you tap in the middle, it will bring up the settings and on the top and the bottom. The home screen is quite straightforward. It shows me the books that I currently have available, the top 50 books that are available from the Kobo store, and obviously you can buy anything that you need from the Kobo store at any time. There's good categorization. The more books that you get in the device, you can add categorization to make it easier to work through your books. And down the bottom here we have the OverDrive feature. So if your local library has OverDrive as an option for you, it's very, very easy to sign up, sync it with OverDrive, and then you're able to borrow books very, very quickly. I have borrowed, for example, both these books have come from OverDrive, and when I've finished them, I can send them back to the library. Basic settings including the brightness, the natural light feature, and the bedtime feature, which I have set to automatically come on at 10 p.m. Up the top here you've got your Wi-Fi signal, your battery indicator, any notifications that you've received, the sync option, which will also do software updates, etc. And then at the end there, the ability to search. Once you're into a book, up the top you've got your lock feature in terms of your portrait and landscape or auto rotate. You have a brightness function, font size and settings, including the font that you're using, including the size, statistics and settings. The statistics as a data guy I find quite fascinating. It tells you, what chapter you're on, what the next chapter is, how long it's going to take you to read it, how far through you are, how long the chapters are, and how many hours you have to go. So far it's been quite accurate, actually. Like the Kindle, it has the option where you can press and hold on a word, which will pop up a dialog box which allows you to either ask for a definition, well, it automatically brings up the definition. You can do a search, or you can add a highlight to that particular section. So if you need to annotate or take notes against a reading, maybe an educational reading, you've got that option too in here as well. This device is maybe $100+ cheaper than the Kindle Oasis, but it has really quite similar specs and is really nice to hold, wonderful to read on. I think once you start reading really on any e-reader, the experience is quite similar. So once you get lost in the book, as long as you can control the brightness in the background, if you're reading in dim light or in bright light, if the fonts are controllable, the size is controllable, it's easy to paginate through all of the pages, you're lost in the book, and that's fantastic. So I didn't really understand why I should pay over $100 more for the Oasis when this was going to do everything that I needed. The setup is very simple. There's 3 basic steps. When you get the box, you open it up, and inside obviously there's the reader and the quick start guide, which is about 3 pages long, and then obviously you've got lots of fine print. The other thing I like about the Kobo, which is quite book-like, is that when it is on standby or sleep, you still get the book cover, grayscale cover on the front. So even just leaving it lying around as it is now, it's sleeping, and even when it's powered off, it still shows that. So it's like, oh look, there's a book, not like, there's a tablet that's asleep. It's the little things, people, it's the little things. Getting books on this thing is very straightforward. If you have EPUB files or any file similar to that, you can just plug it into your computer. It will come up as an external drive. You will drag all the files into there, and hey presto, whiz bang, technology wizardry, boom, you've got books on here. As I've just demonstrated by holding this up to the screen very effectively, I have connected it to OverDrive. My local library doesn't actually support OverDrive, it supports BorrowBox. So I signed up for another library somewhere out of town, and told them I had a local address, and then connected this, and so I'm borrowing books from another library. Surely that's not a big deal, right? It's books. It's not like I'm stealing things. In summary, there are a few things in my life that you'll hear me talk about in my videos that have always made me happy. My Nespresso machine, my 1991 Fender Stratocaster left-handed, and I would definitely have to add, in terms of reliability and just pick up, and it does exactly what it's meant to do, the Kobo Libra H2O is definitely a 5 out of 5 stars for me. Can highly recommend it. The only caveat would be if you're trying to listen to audiobooks, this does not support audiobooks. The bonus is it also doesn't have advertising on it like other ones we know. That's it from me. I'm sure I've left something out. If I have, just drop it in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that I can on this device. If this has been helpful for you, obviously there's nothing like a like and subscribe to make me feel warm and fuzzy on the inside, so feel free to do that too. And have a great day wherever you are. Stay safe, and I look forward to talking to you about something else very, very soon. Bye for now.